Come geek out with us on the Rock Nerd Radio Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Rock Nerd Radio Show here on YouTube. I'm Dan, and I host the podcast that is the Rock Nerd Radio Show, and I guess this YouTube channel as well. And I'm here today with a big haul, unboxing, whatever you want to call it, type video, because I just got all of my orders in from Hasbro Pulse on their Power Day sales event that happened at the beginning of June. It did take them a little while to fill all those orders, and I know they were talking about that online, and I think it's great that the event went well for them. It seems like they sold a lot. There was such a high demand that shipping got delayed. I completely understand that. While I was waiting for everything to arrive, I found some other stuff. Some stuff was on pre-order that got sent to me. Some stuff I found out in stores. And I figured I would just kind of go through all the stuff I got and maybe give some reactions to it, because there's quite a bit of stuff here. And yeah, like I basically just started taking everything out of the boxes they arrived in. I put it in a big in a big plastic bin to open, you know, maybe on camera and stuff. So I'll go through it. I'll show you what I picked. And I would love to see, if you want to leave a comment, like, did you jump in the sales event? Did you buy anything? Have you gotten any new purchases? I would love to hear about the stuff you've gotten. You might also notice that I am now sitting in a new chair here, down here in my basement. And these were things that, I got two of them. There's one on the other side of me. My wife and I found these, and they're super comfortable, a lot more comfortable than that, like, folding up lawn chair that had a Guinness logo on it. So I do apologize for that one. But I got a nice new comfy chair. And I am tall, so it does look a little small when I'm in it, but it's just because I'm so tall. So anyway, let's get into the stuff that I picked up. The first thing I'm going to show off is the Winter Soldier flashback figure from the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV series. This was a figure that I wasn't 100% going to buy. I am glad I caught it on a sale. It does look really cool. I love the head sculpt on it. If I unbox it, you'll actually be able to see it better, but yeah, like, this is exactly like the Winter Soldier figure I wanted. I feel like it's kind of, looking at it now, just a repaint with a new head of the Winter Soldier movie, Winter Soldier figure that I do have. One of the few live-action Marvel Legends that I have. I have it up on a shelf. But he came with, like, a big, stupid, red, like, Nerf gun. So this actually has some realistic weapons, so I'll happily display him on my shelf with these. So yeah, so this was one I picked up, and again, I wasn't going to buy this unless I caught it on a sale. So this was good. That worked out well. Another thing that I picked up was the hologram Iron Man figure. And I'm going to be honest, I don't care about this figure at all. It was on sale, and I really wanted it for the Ursa Major head here. I decided that with the sale, I was going to try to build the Ursa Major Build-A-Figure. I have a lot more of this wave to show off as I go through today. But one of the things I did, and I regret doing it now, and I didn't realize I did it until I ordered everything. Initially, I had bought Ultron and the Stealth Armor Iron Man figure from this wave, and I sold off those Build-A-Figure pieces. Now I got to retrack them down so I can complete Ursa Major. I do have the Guardsman piece ready to go, so I'll have like a mostly complete Ursa Major by the time the day is over here. But yeah, so this was something that, you know, the Iron Man, I'll put him with the rest of my Iron Man figures. I can't promise that he'll be hanging around forever, but the translucentness looks kind of cool. So there we go. I kind of feel like I've reached my quota of Iron Men. Even that new one in the controller Build-A-Figure wave that's hitting, like, not interested in it, nothing against it, but I have like all the Iron Men I want. I have the 90s modular one, I have a classic one, I have Stealth Armor. Those are like the one, Silver Centurion I have, and I even have the Marvel Select Hulkbuster. Like, those are the ones I want. That's really all I need when it comes to Iron Man. All right, moving right along, though, show off we'll switch over to the Transformers side. I did pick up two of the, I forget what we keep calling these guys, Legends class now. I picked up Skywarp and Starscream. Starscream has been around for quite a while because he is in the Kingdom packaging, and I've been seeing Skywarp quite often. But being able to buy them on sale was a big perk. I know the Skywarp doesn't have null raids. I know a lot of people have been complaining about that. I know there are places online where you can buy like replacement null raids. I had an old core class like Skywarp, and I think I still have his null raids, so I'll probably just stick them on him in that capacity. Starscream has them, which is good. But I guess Skywarp comes with a part to like make a sword. And I bought Iguanus because I wanted him. I bought the Hot Rod. So I guess I can make that sword now. Why not, right? But, you know, I keep saying these things were on sale. The way that sale worked is if you bought like $75 worth of stuff, everything was then like 45% off. So almost 50% off for a lot of these things. And that was a pretty good deal, especially on some of the things that I wasn't really gonna, too keen on picking up, but ended up doing. All right, let's see. Another thing I picked up on that sale, I don't want to say the other thing because there's quite a bit, but another thing was I picked up the Transformers Studio Series Bumblebee live-action movie Brawn. This was a character that when they first announced it, I actually had put it on pre-order, and then I canceled the pre-order because I don't go in for a lot of the live-action movie stuff when it comes to Transformers. I have very little live-action stuff. But this looked really cool, and then I just kind of said I could admire it from afar, but when the sale came up, I said, you know what, this would actually be pretty neat to have. So I don't know if I'm going to put him like on my War for Cybertron shelf, which I do have one. I do have the really small G1 version, which I'll probably keep because that is like a G1 version while this is on Cybertron. I might just put him next to, I have the live action Soundwave because I really like that Soundwave, so I might stick him next to Soundwave. One of the few live action Transformer things I love, that I was really into. I really enjoyed the Bumblebee movie. Out of all the live action Transformer movies, it's the only one that I can like bear to watch on repeat viewings. Which I feel bad saying, but I don't love, like, those live action movies when they came out, they were nice, but as Michael Bay did more and more and more of them, I just kind of got more tired of going to see them. So the Bumblebee one, very refreshing. I do advise checking it out. One thing I picked up, this wasn't for me, this is actually for a good friend of mine who I'll be seeing this weekend as of the recording of this video. I picked up, for him, the Slammer and Pipes Transformer figures. These were things that he was looking for, he hadn't seen in the stores, and knowing that I could get them on a discount during the sales event, I was like, I texted him, hey man, do you want these? Here's the deal. And he said, yeah, so he basically got two for the price of one. Pretty cool there, and I'll just leave those aside for him. Moving along to things that weren't necessarily part of that sale, I'll come back to the sale event items. I did find in the wild the Mandalorian version of Ahsoka. I have a friend of mine recently tell me that he felt that I wasn't showing off enough Star Wars content when I do YouTube stuff. And I don't buy a lot of Star Wars things. It's really just Mandalorian-centric characters that I'm buying. But I did buy this Ahsoka. I saw this in a Target the other day, and I decided to pick it up. I did already open her up. She is pretty cool, but I put her back in the box so I could show it off in package on the channel here. So there we go, some cool stuff. Definitely a really cool way to pose her. Like, she has like these like parachute pants, and the knee joints I think work really well. This is pretty cool, so I was happy to get my hands on that one. Probably the only thing so far that I have opened. So there we go. Also, from GameStop the other day, I bought another friend of mine a birthday gift, and I wanted to get free shipping. I was like $5 away. So I looked on their website to see if they had any Marvel Legends that I was looking for, and they had Siren in stock from the upcoming Bonebreaker wave, or the currently out Bonebreaker wave. I know people have been finding these. My pre-order was set for like November, I want to say. So I picked up Siren, and I had some GameStop rewards points. She ended up costing me like $5, and because of that $5, I got the free shipping. It was wonderful. So I got to open her up. Really looking forward to putting her with the rest of my X-Force, filling in another one of those X-Force holes. I think really I just need Feral now, and I'll have a complete like early X-Force team. Really can't wait to build Bonebreaker here. I made a custom Bonebreaker out of like a Junker Transformer and a torso of a Dakin with a Dakin head years ago. Really looking forward to having an official release. But yeah, this is a really cool one. I wish the head was a little more expressive. Not necessarily, maybe if she had interchangeable heads where it looked like she was screaming because, that's her power, that would have been really cool. I almost would have taken that over the interchangeable hands, but, this is fine. So really looking forward to opening her up as well. And, a couple more things that arrived pre-order-wise before we jump back into that Pulse sale. I did pick up, technically it is a Book of Boba Fett figure, but it is Boba Fett from the Throne Room. I am counting this as Mandalorian because this is how he looked at the end of Mandalorian Season 2. In that post-credit scene, if you will. But really cool figure, really nice looking. I hear these, like the knees on him are fantastic too. He's got these big parachute pants. I have been reading that he can't hold on to his blasters. That's a shame. That kind of makes me sad, but I'm happy to have a Boba Fett in my collection. I don't have any Boba Fetts when it comes to Star Wars figures, so I am happy to pick this one up. I didn't pick up the one, what was it? I forget where it was, but where he's in like the black robe. I don't love cloth goods on some figures. It sometimes bothers me, so I was happy to pick up this version rather than that other version that had recently come out. And I will probably display him with the helmet on because I don't like seeing Boba. I like the mystery, the mystery behind it. I don't like seeing his face all the time. All right, and then finally, the last two things that came in for pre-order while I was waiting for all the Pulse Power Day stuff to arrive is a Transformers Studio Series Junkion known as Junk Heap. And I did get two of these. You might be wondering why I bought two. It is because I had the idea early on when they announced Wreck-Ar to buy two Wreck-Ars. That way, the Junkions do ride each other in motorcycle form. So I do have on my Autobot Studio Series shelf, which is kind of behind me over there. It's a little hard to see. I do have Wreck-Ar riding another Wreck-Ar, but I figured I could take Wreck-Ar and put him on a Junk Heap, and then I could take a Junk Heap and put him on the other Wreck-Ar, so they're not riding the same colored bike. The crazy way my brain works, I suppose. But now I'm thinking that I might not buy two of every Junkion. I did see, I think Nanef put out a really cool upgrade kit for a Wreck-Ar where it gives you one of the Junkions that has like a tire belly going, and a different head. So I might buy that upgrade kit, just put Wreck-Ar on a bike, and then just have the other Junkions kind of standing around. That way I kind of maximize my shelf space, because although my cubes do have a decent amount of room, I will eventually start to run out, so I got to be careful. In fact, that Autobot Studio Series shelf is already kind of full because I have a big Matrix replica on it, and I may have to take that off because it does take up quite a bit of room on the shelf. All right, back to the Hasbro sale and things that I wasn't sure I was going to pick up, and then I did. I did manage to pick up Darkstar, going back to that Ursa Major wave. I figured if I was going to have or Darkstar, I might as well try to get Ursa Major because, that's that team. I do have that Crimson Dynamo too, and I have a Red Guardian, so I can display all of them together, have the little Soviet team. What are they called? The Guardian? What the hell are they called? Why can't, I know what they're called. I don't know. They're like the Soviet Avengers. Those guys. It'll come to me. And if you remember it, by all means, leave a comment. But there we go. So, Red Guard. Is that it? Red Guard? Yeah. So there we go. I'm going to have a nice chunk of that team. And she is a mutant, so technically I should be putting her on my shelf because I do have like every mutant that they put out in Marvel Legends. All right, back to that Iron Man wave again. I did pick up Ironheart, a character who I've read just a couple things that she's been in. Not a whole lot. I know her armor doesn't even look like this anymore. She has a brand new armor. But I heard this was a really cool figure, and again, needed that Build-A-Figure piece. So I am looking forward to tinkering around with this figure. I might put the unmasked head on her because it does seem a little more interesting. Otherwise, just kind of looks like tiny teenage girl Iron Man. So I am really looking forward to this one. The smoke effects look really cool on this figure. So I'll be happy to add her to like my Iron Man shelf when it comes down to it. All right, and then yes, I did pick up from the Doctor Strange wave, Despair, whatever you want to call him. This was a character he looks cool. I want to say that he does look cool. Not a character I know a whole hell of a lot about, but the paint apps on this thing look neat. The design on that head looks really cool. And this was one of those things where it was like, I placed a couple orders on this Hasbro sale. So part of it was like, how can I get to $75? And he was the answer to one of them. So I'll stick him next to Doctor Strange. I know he hasn't really done a whole lot in the comics that I find to be memorable. But there we go. I have him. That Doctor Strange wave from Multiverse of Madness, I only got Sleepwalker otherwise. The rest of the wave I just don't care about. As I said, I don't really buy a whole lot of live action things. So there's that one. All right, I also picked up, we're getting into some vintage card stuff now. I picked up the White Vision, all-white Vision, as he appeared in West Coast Avengers. The reason why I picked this one up is I do have the Target one from that 3-pack from a number of years ago, where it's like a clear body and stuff. And I've read online that a lot of people who own that figure notice that his thighs keep breaking and deteriorating. And I'm a little afraid that that's going to happen. So I kind of bought this one as a backup, and my good friend Vinny from Dissecting Fiction did pick this figure up. He told me how great it was, and that's what kind of sold me. So I'll be happy to stick him on my shelf. He does look pretty cool too. All right, continuing with the vintage card things, I did pick up the vintage card Spider-Man Wave Sandman. I have the Build-A-Figure, but I kind of wanted this one. This was another figure I had on pre-order. I canceled the pre-order. And then when I saw the sale, I said, oh, you know what, I'll pick him up because I do want like a more normal-sized Sandman. The Build-A-Figure is huge. And as much as I like it, he only has like the big sand hands and stuff. So I can kind of have a not giant sand hands all the time Sandman. I'll probably still stick the mace and the sand fist on him, but a little more proportional, not like a giant dude. So yeah, I'll probably hold on to both figures for a while anyway, but wanted a more proportional Sandman. All right, and the last three are all from the Fantastic Four vintage card wave. I did pick up Psycho Man. I don't have a lot of stuff on my Fantastic Four shelf, so I thought this would be a welcome addition. A cool villain, not someone who I've read too much with or know all that much about, I'll be honest. I know a little bit about him. I know what he can do. But I thought this would be cool. And I had seen this a number of times in like Walmarts around the holiday season, after the holiday season, where it was marked down to like $12 and I passed it up. So able to pick it up now. That makes me happy. And then last but not least, and these two are in fancy dancy boxes, I picked up the non-flamed on Human Torch. And I like that it comes in these boxes. I feel like the Doctor Doom came in one of the boxes like this. That vintage card Doctor Doom. But here we go. Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, not flamed on. So there'll be times where I'll be changing my display. I have the vintage card flamed on Human Torch. Every now and then I'll display him like this. Matches the rest of the team nicely with the blue and the white uniforms. I have them all because all the uniforms match, so I like that. I did make one change to my Invisible Woman. I put on the Walgreens head, because the Walgreens Invisible Woman head instead of the vintage card. I don't like the head that the vintage one comes with, but there we go. Picked him up. Very excited about this one. It'll be fun. I don't always go for like the depowered versions of stuff, but Human Torch, he's depowered enough or not flamed on enough where I feel like that is something appropriate to have on my shelf. And then last but not least, you may have guessed it, but I did pick up the fully invisible Woman. There we go. So fully translucent Invisible Woman. Again, I'll be rotating this out on my shelf. I'll take down the non-invisible one, put this one back up. As I said, I don't love the head on this figure, but when it's invisible, it doesn't look, when it's clear, it doesn't look as bad as when it's not, when it's painted. So there we go. So that was what I picked up on the Hasbro Pulse Day, whatever it was called, Power Days event. Really cool thing that they did, and honestly, part of me kind of hopes they do it again. Part of me kind of thinks that if there are figures that I don't want to pick up, normally, that, maybe I'll keep it in the back of my mind. Oh, pick it up when they do another Power Day sales event. Like, I can already think of a couple figures in the upcoming Avengers wave who I don't really want, but if they do another Power Day sales event, even if it's next year, oh, okay, for 50% off, I'll pick them up. If they do that again, that'd be cool. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I from what I understand, it was very successful. I'm sure it was in a way just to clear out their inventory, and I'm sure a lot of people bought stuff, because I would see stuff up that would then get marked down, or, would then get sold out. I mean, I have behind me the Black Serac. He's off frame, but you can see his spear. That thing was part of the Power Day sales event. And when I bought it, that was like $200 or something like that. So you could have gotten that thing for a fraction of the price. Like, part of me wished I didn't buy him, because I would just to get him at 45% off would have been awesome. But then part of me was like, do I buy a second one? I wasn't going to. I'm not that crazy. But so it worked out very well for people. I hope some people got some good deals on that. I would love to know what you picked up, so drop it in the comments. If you've gotten any recent purchases as well, I'd love to know. Let's start a dialogue going with that. You can always like and subscribe here on YouTube, and if you want to listen to the podcast and radio show that I do, it is called the Rock Nerd Radio Show. It airs live every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on HudsonRiverRadio.com. Otherwise, subscribe to it on all your favorite podcast platforms. I don't think I'm going to open all this up on camera, because then we'll have like an hour-long video, and I don't want to do that to you. But until next time, I've been Dan. You've been pretty awesome. I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.
Come geek out with us on the Rock Nerd Radio Show.